A girl is working in a greenhouse and she merges some meteor stones with the vegetables. Her dad approaches her and talks about ordering some food. She's upset about her weight and says she will only eat vegetables. The girl Jody talks to Chloe and Pete about Lana's birthday party. She then drinks a green drink to lose some weight. A guy comes up and makes jokes about Jody's weight. He then throws his ball and Jody splashes her drink. Pete throws the ball at his face. Jody's dad tells her she can't starve herself to death. Her dad tries to motivate her, but she's upset about her weight. She goes into the bathroom, and as she stands on the scale, her stomach starts rumbling. She also notices that her face becomes skinnier suddenly. The scale suddenly also shows less weight. Lex is running on a treadmill. His doctor is checking his health. He tells him he has an unusual elevated white cell count. They discuss his health, and the doctors say that some of these things show up in Smallville and believes that the Luthor Corp contaminated the environment. Clark is studying with Lana and Nell is setting up a party. Whitney says he has been given a scholarship. Jody calls out Pete and they see that she has lost some weight. She says her diet has started to pay off and thanks him for sticking up for her. She asks if he likes to go out with her for Lana's birthday. Chloe finds it weird that she lost weight that fast. Lana visits the Kents for the produce order. She tells Clark that she doesn't like the attention for her birthday party. Clark says he can be her escort and she accepts it. Jody's dad asks if she's alright. She says she's going to a birthday party. Jody stands on the scale and she loses weight again, but she's extremely hungry and starts eating a lot, consuming different foods violently. But her stomach grows and she then throws away her green drink. Jody's driving during the rain. She keeps consuming food, but then suddenly sees a deer on the road and hits it. She approaches the animal and kneels down. Her mouth suddenly becomes freakishly large and she starts eating the animal. Clark is looking at Lana through the telescope. Chloe comes in who makes a joke about it. Clark isn't happy and asks what she wants. Chloe brings up the dead deer. As Chloe talks about the animal, she asks for Clark's help to investigate it and she'll help him with finding a gift for Lana. They're at some animal center and Clark breaks open the lock. Chloe takes some pictures of the dead animal. The lab report says that the animal lost some 80% of its body fat. Lex is researching Smallville and he reads that it's America's strangest town. Jody's dad is knocking at the door and says he has to go. He wants to see her, but she says she's not available. He wants her to see someone, but she says she doesn't need a shrink. She says she's happy and her dad then leaves. She looks at a picture of them. We then see the room full of trash. Lex is at Clark's school who was meeting with the principal. He tells Clark that his plant manager Gabe, who's Chloe's father, told him about her. Lex says he was struck by the wall. Clark says she believes that all the strange incidents in Smallville are related to the meteor shower. Lex then tells him about his incident during the meteor shower and how he lost his hair. He says he should have died that day. Lex then tells Chloe he likes her meteor theory, as many people think it's his company's fault. He tells her to call him if she wants a summer job at the Inquisitor. Pete talks to Jody about going together to Lana's birthday, but she has some stomach issues. Jody has pain, and the boy who laughed at her earlier is now complimenting her. She tells him she is hungry and then seduces him. She tells him to follow her. They enter the boiler room. As the boy touches her, he says he didn't mean what he said earlier. She tells him to say sorry and then attacks him with her massive mouth. As Clark's passing by, he hears something. When he uses his X-ray, he sees someone being attacked. He knocks down the door, looks, and rushes in. Jody then releases some steam into Clark's face, but this doesn't affect him at all. Someone then suddenly grabs Clark. When he pulls him off, it is the boy who has lost all of his body fat. Lex arrives at the barn. As he enters, it looks like a lab. There are some meteor stones. A man yells not to touch it. The man, Dr. Hamilton, thinks he's a freak who tracked him down. Lex says he's just a fan. As he introduces himself, the man doesn't like Luthors and says meteorologists have no fans. Dr. Hamilton handled the Apollo moon rocks when he used to be a respectable scientist. Lex says he found out about his medical condition and has become interested in his work. About his theory that the meteors change cellular makeup and wants to fund it. The doctor laughs and is not interested. He tells him to come if he changes his mind. Chloe and Clark talk about the incident with the boy and don't know who did it. Jody's eating heavily. She says she's nervous about the party tonight. As she leaves, they find her behavior very strange. Lana's birthday party is at Lex's mansion. He says he prefers her new escort. As Clark's preparing for the birthday, Chloe comes in with some papers and says that it was Jody's car that hit the deer, that her house is near the meteor hits, so they figure out that it's the meteor stones that affected her. Clark then remembers Pete, who actually arrives at Jody's. She's all prepared and as they leave, her stomach's growling again. She says she has to eat. Pete says they should go to the hospital. She tells him he has always been good to her and then runs inside and tells him to go away. But Pete then enters her house. She tells him to get away and doesn't want to hurt him, but Sneaky Pete is persistent and Jody gives him a mean look. She then takes him down and he faints. She opens up her big mouth and just then Clark enters. Jody runs off. Clark sees Pete. He goes to the greenhouse and becomes weak due to the meteor stones. Jody hits him on the head. Jody hurts Clark further as he's weak. As she wants to attack again, she sees her own reflection. She then regrets her actions and then says she'll stop it for good. She hits some gas tubes and breaks a lamp. Clark jumps in to save her as the greenhouse explodes. Wakey Pete sees the fire and Clark has saved Jody. He says she has to go to the hospital. At Lana's birthday, Clark didn't show up and made the same mistake again. She's upset, but Lex says Clark will be there. However, Clark arrives home and tells his parents about what had happened. Jonathan reassures him that sometimes sacrifices have to be made. He says then he doesn't have to sacrifice everything as he leaves. Lex opens up a letter. He visits Dr. Hamilton again and tells him he has a clean bill of health. Lex wonders why Hamilton doesn't accept his help. He says he found out that he was expelled from Metropolis University because of his student-teacher relations and not due to his theory. He tells him to get out. Lex tells him to look at something. He doesn't care about his past and gives him a large check for his research. Hamilton says it can take years, but Lex says he's a patient man. Clark is throwing stones at Lana's window. She's not happy with him, but says she stopped believing in birthdays anyway. He says he can change that and would like to give her a present now. They then watch a movie in a truck and he wished her a happy birthday, as they watch some cartoons at the barn.